Okay.
Yeah, right.
All right. Good morning, CBGR. I hope everybody is having a great start to their Friday morning. Before we get started, I do want to wish Anna Flores. She's here with us today in our training. It's her birthday tomorrow. So happy birthday, Anna.
Thank you.
So today we're going to go over Skyslope. Okay, this session is going to be recorded and also going to be these slides are also going to be distributed to all the agents. So it's a step-by-step. So you could always go back to these slides if you need to and learn again. Okay. We might not be able to get through all of it. So if we need to do an additional day on Skyslope training, we will do so. Okay. That being said, Ann and I are asking that you take notes and you jot down your questions so we can answer your questions at the very end. This will allow us to get through all the data and the topics. Okay. So let's get started. Skyslope. So for those of you who do not know what Skyslope is, it's a transaction management that can effortlessly execute, store, organize, and audit documents. It's also a method to send for signatures like Authentisign for zip forms and DocuSign. So you could use this in a similar fashion, okay? All right. So, also, we might veer off Skyslope to just discuss other related topics. Like, for instance, we're going to go into inputting a listing because it relates to Skyslope, okay? So if we veer off a little bit, rest assured it's related to the Skyslope topic. So inputting a listing, okay? So we want to make sure that all our agents know what is required, what forms are required for us to input a listing into the MLS, okay? So there are 4, okay? A fully executed listing agreement, okay? Now the agreement, if you're utilizing Zip Forms Plus Broker Edition, which is available to all our agents, when you click on the template, it will give you a listing template package, which comes with the listing agreement and all the disclosures that are needed. We need all of that to input the listing, okay? And what is fully executed? Fully executed means all signatures fully completed, okay? Everything filled out that's required and all signatures for all parties, okay? Now, so we're going to veer off of the subject real quick because I wanted to show you how to access Zip Forms Plus. If you're accessing Zip Forms Plus through CAR, you're doing it the wrong way, okay? We want you to access Zip Forms Plus Broker Edition directly through Zip Forms Plus because that's where our templates are. If you go through CAR, you're not going to have templates, and that's where we're having the issues. A lot of agents are coming to Anna saying, well, this is what was on Zip Forms. It's because you're not utilizing Zip Forms Plus Broker Edition. I don't know, Anna, if you want to touch on that topic.
So I had an agent yesterday that was using Zip Form, but she was not using Zip Form Broker's version. So there's a different avenue to go through there. So at this point, if you don't have your password for your Zip Form Plus Broker's version, you can send an email to Ruben or I, and we could reset you. Commonly, your user ID is your first dot last name, and then you make up your password. But this has a template ready with all the documents that you need. Of course, you need to make the decision what type of transaction you're working on and what applies to or not. Based on the years, there might be not an earthquake disclosure required and so on. But it's very important that you do stick to that, because if you're ever on the road and you need Ruben or I to assist you with the document and get it prepared for you, if you use the broker's edition, we're able to go into the transaction and help you with that, okay? As an exception basis, of course.
Thank you, Anna.
Hold your questions, write it down. The other thing is, you got to remember that when we say complete, we mean prepare and sign dates need to be there. All answers have to be answered. All boxes need to be checked that are applicable, because A lot of times I notice, for instance, the TDS, the SPQ, those are not completely done. And I can't accept them until they're completely done. And maybe you're the selling agent and not the listing agent, but you gotta make sure when the listing agent gives you the seller's disclosures that everything's filled out. If not, you need to reject it and ask them to complete it for you. But the most important thing is when you're doing a listing, on the input form, there's asterisks that mean required fields. Don't submit anything to Denise. She cannot complete it unless you fill all the appropriate boxes that have that asterisk. And definitely the signatures and the initials in each page that you need to do. In regards to your description, type it up on the email, do a Word document, send it to Denise so she could just copy and paste the information for you. It's much easier, it's easier to read, less mistakes are done that way. Definitely, you have the input form that's fillable. Do it, it's easy, just fill it, it's readable, easier. When you send it to Denise, you could just, all one time, send her the description, send her the input with it all filled in, and just, email it to her at one time.
Okay, so thank you, Anna. So these slides are going to be emailed to all the agents, and they have links there too. So they're actually active links. So I'm going to show you really quick the Zip Forms Plus. So don't go through CAR or CRMLS with Lion's Desk. You want to go straight through Zip Forms Plus. I always have it saved on as my favorites, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and click on that. So just bear with me, because when you click on a link on Zoom and it redirects you to a different site, I have to stop sharing and then share a new screen. So just bear with me. But when you click on Zip Forms Plus, that's the link right there. So you should save that to your desktop, so that way you always go there for all your forms, okay? So let's go ahead and click on that.
Pepper, you're gonna get it all.
Okay, you see the Lion's Desk now, Anna?
Yes,
Okay,
I see Skyslope.
you still see Skyslope?
I see, yes. The
No, I
screen.
see transactions.
It says
I see
zip form.
transactions.
Okay, yeah, we're on Zip Forms, right, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
Yeah, so when you click on that link on the slide, it'll send you straight to Zip Forms, but this is the actual site that you should be going through, okay? I'm gonna briefly just go through the whole process so you guys can see. I'm gonna sign in. If you need access to Zip Forms Plus Broker Edition, just email me and I'll do it. I'm going to show you real quick. So I have the admin tools. So I could go to users and we can help you with your documents. If you use the other through CAR, we can't help you. We don't have access to that, okay? So I'm going to create a new transaction. Let's go to purchase. I'm just going to say 1726.
Ruben,
Yes.
I have a question, okay? So
Sean.
usually I go through the car and then go into the zip. So this one, the password and the user's name is different, right?
Yeah. So Sean, just hold on to your question. What we want to do is go through the whole training first, and we'll answer all the questions at the very end, and I'll help you with your access to Zip Forms Plus Broker Edition, okay? Sean?
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Also, Anna likes for you to name the transaction, the address. That way we could reference it fairly easy, okay? There's also a MLS Connect right here too. So if you're looking for, you're going to make an offer, it's very simple. For this sake, I'm not going to do that, okay?
You can't read.
Okay, residential, right? And then you see down here where it says select a template. If you're using CAR, you will not have this option. So if you don't see this option, this drill down or selection, you know you're in the wrong place. Okay, when you click on that, we have all these templates. Okay, commercial listing, commercial purchase. So we're going to go to residential purchase, right? I'm going to save it. Let me move this guy right here. Now, give it some time because zip forms takes a little bit of while to upload all your documents, okay? Some people think that, oh, it's not working, it's not working. Just give it some time. And then you go to your documents. We can go, we're gonna have a zip forms training in the future, so I'm not gonna go into depth. But if you go to documents, you have all your documents already. Now, do you need all these documents as Anna was stating? No, okay? But it gives you all the documents that you can potentially need, okay? You need to know what type of transaction and type of property it is for you to be able to, know which documents you're gonna need in addition to the required ones. When you click on the residential purchase agreement right here, it's going to give you all your documents, not just the agreement. It's going to give you, it's called a purchase bundle or package and stuff. There's 26 pages, okay? So that's why we want you to use broker edition, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and get out of this and go back to our presentation. Oh. There we go. Okay, so again, use zip forms plus broker edition. Don't go through CAR, okay? Number two, you need a fully executed MLS input form, okay? All the required fields need to be filled out. Each page has to be initialed, and the last page has to be signed by all parties, okay? Required fields have an asterisk, okay? If you are filling it in with the downloadable form, which I'm going to show you right now where to access that, it's going to actually tell you where the required fields are. So it makes it a lot easier. Also, like Anna was stating, if you type it in the fillable format and you type in your description, the listing coordinator will be able to copy and paste that description of the property and put it into the MLS. If you don't do it that way, you're going to need to do it in a separate email, like in your text in your email or in a Word document, okay? Because unfortunately, there's human error if you handwrite it on the input form and then the listing coordinator has to type it out, okay? Anna, do you want to add anything to that?
No.
Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Where do you find the MLS input form, the fillable form, okay? It's going to be on this website, the CB George Realty agent login. That's like the back door to our website. That's where all your resources are, and that's where you'll find the MLS input form. So I'm going to go ahead and do that again. So it's going to redirect me. Okay, you guys all see the agent website?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. This is what you're gonna see, okay? Again, our slides have all this step by step. I'm just going through the process so you guys can actually visualize and see where to access these documents, okay? You're gonna go to agent resources. You're gonna scroll down and you're gonna see CRMLS multiple listing input forms. You're gonna click here. And it's going to redirect you to the CRMLS. You're going to click on the matrix, okay? And then you're going to click on, for this sake, it's residential, okay? So we're going to click residential, but if it's commercial, you go to the commercial or whatever is applicable, okay? And there's your input form, okay? Notice how you can't do anything, right? It's not fillable. So what you have to do, this is very important, there's a little download, not upload, download button, okay? It has a little arrow facing down. Click on that. Depending on what type of computer you have, your downloads, my downloads down here, and then it's gonna come up, and then here's where you can put in all your fillable stuff, okay? Notice where, where it's applied, where everywhere that there is an asterisk, it's telling you to fill in, okay? This is a very easy way for you to complete this form, okay? Also, when the description, if you type in your description here, I'm just gonna put whatever. The listing coordinator will be able to copy and paste and put it into MLS, okay? If you print it and you handwrite it, then she actually has to narrate it and put it, you know, and that's where human error comes. And that's your description to your property, so it's very important. When you're done, you could simply save it, download it, and print it. And then you're done. And then you upload this to Skyslope and send it out for signatures and initials. And we'll go over that. I just wanted to show you where to access it, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get out of that. And I'm gonna go back to our presentation. All right, that's the second one. Number 3, property pictures, okay? At least 6 pictures is what we're gonna need and no more than 60. Okay, I don't think the MLS allows us to put more than 60 pictures on one listing. One of the pictures has to be the front, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be the first picture, but it does have to be, one of the pictures has to be the front of the house or condo or whatever. Make sure there's no branding or any people in the photos, okay? And then there's a minimum pixels, which is 1024 by 768, okay? And then if you do not take your pictures yourself, make sure you get a PIA form filled out, okay? That's a property image agreement. It's in your zip forms. That will give you authorization from whoever took those photos, okay? The owners or someone took the photos for you, okay? So that way you don't get sued. Lastly, the rest of the seller disclosures are due within 5 days of submitting the listing input form, okay? Now, where are those forms? We're gonna get into that a little bit later in the training and stuff, okay? So make sure that you have these 4 parts of the input listing in order for us to be able to put it into MLS. If we don't have this, it's not gonna be put into the MLS, okay? Anna?
Yeah, for the pictures, let me just tell you an example that happened one time. I had an agent that took a picture of the bathroom and he did it from the outside. His face was captured because there was a mirror inside the thing. So then he had to do a disclaimer to protect the broker himself that, it was something that had happened. But little things like that you don't think about could happen, okay? So just as a note for you guys in regards to that.
Oh, another side note, Anna, if you could take a note, we're gonna email everybody some verbiage that is not allowed, okay, in the description of your property, okay, like vacant, anything pertaining to the agency. So if you have that in your description, it will be a violation and it probably won't allow us to put it in the MLS, okay? And we'll email everybody that. Okay. All right, seller disclosures, okay? This is just a friendly reminder, okay? To ensure smooth transactions and eligibility for future listings, we kindly ask that all seller disclosures be submitted within the 5-day deadline. It's essential to have all 4 items received on time for your listings to be compliant. Your cooperation is greatly appreciated, okay? So, Anna, do you want to touch on this?
Yes, you have to understand that, but and I understand sometimes a client doesn't want to do all this signing at one time, but you're there, get all your signatures, your initials, get all your documents done, prepare all that so you could take it with you. I always believe get them while you're married, not when you get finally divorce them, right? So at this point, it's just for your benefit, you'll have it all ready. When an actual offer comes through, then you'll have everything prepared to send over to the selling agent. And you don't have to go back and forth trying to get forms done, trying to get signatures. It's just a big benefit for all. And it is required to have all those disclosures with the listing when you submit it to Denise. Okay.
Yeah, so if you don't submit all those documents within the 5 days, you know, we're gonna require that at the time of the listing input. So just do yourself a favor, be professional, and get all the documents that are required up front, okay? Send them to your client all at one time, so that way you look professional too. You're not going back and forth with one document or two documents and stuff. And that's what this goes over. So let's move on to the next slide.
Ruben, I have a question.
Christina, we're gonna wait till the end for the questions. Can you just write it
Okay.
down? Thank you. So seller reports for your listings, okay? It's, you know, these reports can potentially impact your listing. So they're free. You're not gonna have to pay for them unless it closes. So I think this is not required, but I think it's good practice on your behalf to get the NHD to make sure it's not a fire zone and make sure it's not in a hazardous zone as well. Prelim, make sure it's clear, and then city reports. Those are 3 documents you can get up front and make sure that, you know, everything's okay with the property and stuff. Also, in addition to that, verify that the property's features and amenities. You know, if it has a septic tank, you're gonna need that form. So get that form up front and send it to your seller to sign, or a well, or propane, or probate, you know. So just verify your property features and amenities so you know that you have all the proper forms.
In regards to the NHD and the prelim, you could order them. They're not going to charge you unless you close your escrow. So by ordering the NHD, you know at this point if it's in a higher zone, the prelim, if there's any issues that you need to handle before you actually get an offer. The city reports, yes, it has to be paid up front, but your client should understand what is the process and what needs to be fixed if the city requires anything at that point. So you're just ahead of the game. Sometimes your city report could take weeks to get. So you open escrow, it doesn't get ordered right away. It could take 2 to 4 weeks sometimes to get. So you don't want to cause yourself a delay in closing your escrow because we didn't have the city report with the requirements and things that get done the way they should have got done.
Thank you, Anna. Okay, moving on. Okay, so we already went over where to get your seller disclosures. So this is just a slide so you guys can reference it at a later time. That's why we wanted to put a step-by-step in these slides, okay? So basically you go to the agent resources. Also, since we're on this page, for future classes, recordings, and training, you can go on this website as well, and then it's right here. We're under training, coaching, and licensing, okay? And there is also an event calendar, just for your reference. Again, you would go to, these are the checklists, okay? So what documents do you need, right? For any particular type of transaction. This is where you would go. You would go to the same website, but you would click on the Skyslope listing and sales checklist, okay? And this, you just click on that button and it'll bring you to this. Now you have 2 checklist types, okay? One's the listing checklist and one's the sale checklist. You're just gonna have to click on whichever one applies to your transaction. Moving on. Here this is the checklist, okay? So depending on what checklist you need for the type of property, right here on the bottom, there's a residential listing, residential income for 124, residential lease, business opportunity, commercial, and there's more over here. You just got to tab over. Anna, do you have any?
Yeah, so you see where he put a little arrow, there's a couple of bars or lines right there. If you click there, all the checklists will appear and you could pick it that way if it's easier than going on the bottom. Just to let you know that I am in the process of doing some updates on it because there is new forms coming our direction. So I am in the process of doing it. Hopefully within the next couple of months, it will get all updated. But right now, they're still good enough for you guys to use. But here, you come and you say, Anna, what items do I need? You don't have to come to Anna. If you go to our Co-op Banker website, you have it all there spelled out for you. We're trying to make it as simple as possible. If it's on a Saturday or Sunday and we're not here to help you, you have your answers. You know where to go. I mean, this is such a great tool. And we just keep adding it. If you guys have other suggestions, what we could add on to this Co-op Banker website, just let us know. We'll be happy to try to do to make your life easier and more efficient in the long run, okay?
Now, you'll notice that there's asterisks on these forms as well. So these aren't necessarily everything that you're gonna need. It's what you will potentially need depending on the type of transaction and type of property. You might not need some of these forms, okay? So, but we wanted to list them all so that way you have access to all the forms and know which forms you potentially need, okay? All right, let's move on. You can print these too. You can leave them on your desktop, make a folder, so you don't have to always access the website, okay? Where do I find the MLS input form? Again, we're step by step. I actually went on to the agent website and showed you where to access that, but this is just going to show you step by step for future reference, okay? So you click on agent website, and then you click on the multiple listing input form, click there, click on the CRMLS tab. Also, just so you know, different boards have different input forms, okay? So if you click on Flex MLS, I know that Pasadena P4 uses Flex. Their form is different from the form we use. So it's all the same fields, criteria, and data that we need to put into the MLS. But for the sake of Coldwell Banker George Realty, just always use the CRMLS matrix input form, okay? That way it's all uniform, okay? You would click on residential in this case because it's a residential listing. And then there's a form. You would click download. The download will show up here depending on, I think Macs show up somewhere else. And then you would input your data. You would type in your description of the property. And then make sure that the initials are, every page is initialed. And then signatures at the very end and the last page. Okay, so this takes you step by step. Let me move this because Anna wanted to bring up a very important topic. Anna, I'll let you discuss this one.
Okay, so if you're going to be printing the MLS form, first of all, when you download it and you finish inputting all your information on the MLS, make sure you save it with the changes onto your computer, okay? But if you're going to print it, you need to change the scale to say fit in printable area. So what that happens is to make sure you get the bottom showing the page number and the initials. If you don't adjust it, it will not, you will totally miss the bottom of each page. Okay, so I just kind of wanted to show you how to do it. You would just go into your print, you would go into your settings, and then under your scale, you will change it. Again, I think Mac might be a little bit different, but this is normally the case. Sometimes you have to play with your own computer to see what works for it, okay? Just to let you know.
Okay, thank you. And this is a constant problem, but that's why we're bringing it up because almost, I don't know, what's percentage? Maybe
80% maybe.
80% doesn't have initials on it because it doesn't necessarily mean you didn't get the initials. It gets cut off when you're printing it, okay? Even when you save it as a PDF, you're still printing it and saving it as a PDF. Sometimes it'll cut off. So just make sure that it captures that every page for the initials, okay? All right, now Skyslope for listings. So it's important for agents to know that you do not have to create a Skyslope transaction for your listings. The listing coordinator will create one for you, okay? You only have to create one for sales, which we'll get to in just a little bit, okay? Once a transaction is created, the agent will be notified with a checklist via an email through Skyslope that includes a unique transaction email. Every transaction in Skyslope has an email. It's unique to that transaction. That's where you'll be able to communicate with Skyslope, with your TC, the listing coordinator, and also send documents to your transaction. Now, here's an example of a Skyslope email, okay? So if you had documents that you want to forward, you could just forward it straight to that email and those documents will go into your transaction, okay? Agents should email all forms and documents to Skyslope via the unique transaction email. We just went over that, and make sure you CC the listing coordinator, okay? That way the listing coordinator knows that you're sending documents to Skyslope. Excuse me, sorry. Agents need to assign the email documents to the proper location to be verified and cleared by the TC. We're going to go over in just a little bit also on how to assign those documents, okay? Anna, did you want to go have anything?
No, I do not.
Okay. All right. Now, when you have a listing and you got an accepted offer, right? Now this is going to be converted to a sale, okay? When agents obtain an accepted offer, please email the TC immediately, notifying to convert the listing to a sale, okay? Don't wait. Let her know, hey, we got an accepted offer, and then start the communication stuff so we can get started immediately. It's good practice to wait for the earnest money deposit to be deposited into escrow first, because we all know that sometimes buyers have a change of mind and they don't put the deposit in, and you created a transaction for it for nothing. So it's 3 days. You don't have to, but you know, sometimes it's better just to wait, make sure you have a valid escrow and it's going to go through. Once the TC receives your notification, the TC will notify the agent via email that the listing was converted into a sale and will show incomplete. So again, you don't have to create a transaction on Skyslope for your listing. The TC will do that. Please don't create one, because it'll complicate things, and the TC will have to, there'll be a duplicate transaction, and she'll have to delete one of the two, okay? Agents will then be required to upload certain documents, forms onto Skyslope and assign them to the proper location. Okay, very important. Agents must ensure that all documents and/or forms are completed and fully executed with all required signatures. We are constantly getting forms uploaded that are not fully executed and signed. They're going to get rejected, okay? So you're better off just verifying that the document has the signatures required and then upload it to Skyslope, because otherwise you're going to have multiple forms of the same form. Some are going to be executed and some won't. It's not very complicated. Just, hey, this is signed, good, upload it to zip forms, okay?
So in regards, again, you have a listing, you've now received an offer, you've executed all documents, you notify me so I can convert your listing to a sale. You're going to find in Skyslope that you're going to have an incompleted transaction for the sale. You need to go into it at this point and complete it. Don't go and recreate everything. You should go into the incomplete and finish the incomplete. Because then you can create a duplicate at that time on the sales side, and I have to go and delete it, and we have to do double work and so on. So remember that your TC will convert it. Once I've done converting it, I'll send you an email or a phone call telling you, hey, you're ready. It's out there. It's incomplete. Go ahead and finish the sale part on Skyslope and so on.
Okay. All right. Continuing, Skyslope listings converted to a sale. Required documents to convert to a sale. I'll let Anna take this one over.
When you send me something, sometimes you guys send me a incompleted RPA. In other words, the buyer signed everything, but I don't have the seller's signature. So that is not a complete document. I really don't have a valid transaction to start for you. So just make sure that when you do the RPA, that you're using the template on zip form, so you can gather all the additional disclosures that are required and get all signatures. And once you have everything, then you send it to us. If you've done counteroffers, addendums, make sure that those are included too, and that they're all signed by all parties. On this form, we've listed what normally comes with an RPA. As a reminder, don't forget your co-op banker addendum, your compliance fee. You want to try to get your client to sign everything up front. And remember, the COA banker addendum for the compliance fee is normally paid by your client. If you don't get that signed, no matter what, the document needs to be signed, but if they refuse to sign, then you're gonna have to pay for the fee through your commission. So try to get it all signed at the beginning. They're happy with you. They're happy you found them a house. They're gonna do anything you want them to do. Hopefully at that point. So just get them to sign. A compliance fee is like any other fee. It's just a transaction fee. Okay. Let's see. And just make sure you are using the correct form for the transaction. Single family residence, a condo, RPA. 1 to 4 units, you do a residential income. Okay, make sure you're using the correct forms to avoid double work or problems later on within the transaction.
Okay, thank you, Anna.
Mhm.
All right, there's gonna be 3 sections in your Skyslope when you are from a listing to a sale, okay? You're gonna have the listing documents section, the sales documents sections, and then your closing section, okay? So just know that. There are certain documents also that are required for both sides. So for instance, an avid, you need an avid for both the selling agent's side and also a listing agent side. So just keep that in mind. And then make sure they're all fully executed and get it signed before the transaction closes. Like Anna said, it's easier to get them signed before it closes because otherwise you're going to be chasing people to get signatures.
You're gonna cause a delay in getting your commission check because all
Yep.
required documents must be in before we can release the commission check, okay?
And remember, we're teaching this and letting agents know what's required for your transactions to be smooth. It makes you look more professional. You'll find that your transaction gets done smoothly and you get paid faster and stuff. So we're not doing it to be, control freaks or anything like that. We're doing it for your benefit.
And not only that, we get audited. And so when we get audited, we want to make sure you guys don't have to pay any penalties and neither does your broker have to pay any penalties. We're trying to, our job or my job is to protect you and the broker by having all the required documents and signatures in your file. So don't take it as I'm harassing you guys. I'm just trying to make sure that I protect you, okay?
Okay, so we're gonna go over a couple of forms that we've been having problems with on a constant basis. And basically help us help you because we're going to keep going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until, and it's very simple things that is required. I think agents are just missing it and stuff. So the first one we're going to go over is the agency confirmation. This is located on the first, I believe it's the first page, right, Anna?
Yes.
Yeah, and this is on your purchase agreement. You would not believe how many agents forget to check these boxes, okay? This is the right way to do it, okay? Make sure the boxes are checked and the license numbers are indicated and then the brokerage and the agent, okay? This is the right way to do it. Now, this is what we see a lot of the times, okay? Where you did your job, right? In this case, but the other agent on the other side didn't fill it in. So get that information first before you send it to the TC, because if you don't, you're gonna be required to get additional forms. Okay, so it doesn't necessarily have to be your fault. It could be the other agent that missed it, but send it back to them, get it filled out, or you fill it in, either way, and then get it done before you send it to the TC, because otherwise you're going to need additional forms. And I know Anna wants to talk on this.
Yeah. So remember that whoever's doing the RPA, if you're representing the buyer and you're representing, and you're submitting this offer, you really should be filling this out completely. Remember, you have the MLS input form that has all this information, the name of the other broker, their company, their license number for the company, their license number for the broker. And just got to remember to check the box. Who are they representing? Is it the seller? Is it the buyer? And so on. Again, if you're on the other side, you're the listing agent and you're getting the offer and they submit this to you, reject it, say, please fill it, completely fill it out. And so on. You have the advantage. You're the listing agent. You get them to do it right the first time. Because if not, you have to do an additional document. You don't want to cause yourself more work. I do find that if you're a dual agent, say an agent here is the listing agent and an agent in Arcadia is the selling agent. Well, you both are considered dual agents because you guys operate under the same DRE number for the company. So you got to remember that you have to put dual agent. I understand you only represent the buyer, you only represent, but you know what? You're liable for both sides because you're under the same company. Okay. So I just wanted to clarify that too.
And I'm gonna circle it right now. This is dual agent right here, okay? So if it's by Coldwell Banker and Coldwell Banker George Realty and Coldwell Banker George Realty, these are the boxes that need to be checked on both sides, okay? There's a workaround, okay? Let me just click on that. If you use the Zip Forms Broker Edition and you're making the offer and you use the MLS lookup, it'll autofill the information for the listing agent. So you don't have to do any of that. It automatically fills this whole section out for both parties. So if you use it properly, you don't have to fill this out. It does it for you. But again, everything's not perfect, so you still have to review it and verify it, okay? So again, this is very simple, but it happens probably, what, 90% of the time, Anna?
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. The second one is the DEDA, which is Designated Electronic Delivery Address Amendment, okay? This is on page, I believe the last page, right, Anna?
Yes.
This is the last page of the purchase agreements, any purchase agreement. And that's where it'll indicate what type of communication that you're going to have, correspondence you're going to have, email, text, and this has to be filled out. So right now I'm showing you a correct form, how it's supposed to be filled out. And then I'm going to go to how it's not supposed to be filled out. Okay. So if you do this, you're going to be required to get additional documents, go back to your client, the other agent and get signatures and stuff. So it's a very, very simple thing to do and stuff. So help us help you and just fill these two forms out properly. Anna?
And remember that you have a box that says email above. That box that he highlighted has to be checked. So do you mind going to
Which one?
the email above? You know how it says email above?
Right here.
Keep going down, keep going down, keep going down.
Oh, this one right here.
there. Yes, those boxes have to be checked on both sides, okay? So when you're preparing, again, whoever the selling agent is needs to make sure that they're filling in all the information. So the only time that the listing agent has to be concerned is to put their signature on there, but you should be entering all this information. And again, you have it on the MLS input form, or you could go to DRE, California DRE, and get their information that way, whatever works for you. But it has to be filled in to be done correctly.
It's just a check. That's it, a little check. But you know, it's important because that's where we're gonna know how they want to be communicated with. Okay. All right, let's move on. All right, now we're gonna go into creating a transaction, sale transaction on Skyslope. Okay. On these slides, you're gonna have links, okay? So they're hyperlinks, so you'll be able to actually click on it and refer to how to create a sale transaction. Now I'm going to send this out to everybody, but for the sake of this link, we're going to go ahead and click on it. Whoop, give me 1 second. I don't know why I did that. There we go. Let me stop sharing. This is where it's going to send you to, okay? Anna, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and play this for everybody.
Hey, Skyslopers, if you're representing a
You make it
buyer
louder,
or a
please.
or lease file, you're going to want to start by creating a transaction file in Skyslope. Let's go over the process of creating a transaction. From the home page, start by clicking on Create Transaction. First, you'll need to type your property address. You'll see a list of matches from Google Maps and select the best match.
Any louder, Ruben?
On it again here. and
That's as loud as goes.
Data that we can find for that address, like the year built or the sale price. All required fields are listed with a red asterisk. We'll need to fill all those out before we can move on to the next page. Let's start with the MLS. Next, the checklist type. Your checklist type is essentially your file type. Are you working on a commercial lease, a traditional sale? Select the best option for your file type. We can see here that all of the information for our address is already filled in, so next we're going to select the type. Now this is essentially just selecting the side of the deal you're working on. If you're only representing a buyer or tenant, you'll select sale, whereas if you are working with the seller, you may select listing sold. We'll input our sale price, which will auto-populate as a dollar amount. Next, we have the year built. Select the source, how you came about working with this client, whether or not the file was an office lead. Last but not least, the closing date and the contract acceptance date. With a quick look over, we can see that all of the required fields are filled out, and we can click Next to move on to the next page. As we move to the next page, we can see that our file officially has an incomplete status. This means we still have required information to fill out to bring the file to pending. So we're starting here on the Contacts tab with the list of all of our required contacts. The first required contact is the seller, so we can enter the seller's first and last name and then click Save. If there's more than one seller, you can scroll to the bottom and click on the New Seller button to add a second person. One Skyslope pro tip is to use the Search Contacts toolbar at the top of the contact page to search for contacts you've already entered into your Skyslope account. Now we can scroll back to the top. To move on to the next contact, either click Next in the upper right-hand corner or simply click on the next contact from the list on the left. We'll follow the same process to enter the buyer's contact information. And now we're ready to move on to title, escrow, and attorney. Only one of these three contacts is required. As you can see here, that if you're not working with title, please fill out either escrow or an attorney. So go ahead and fill out whichever contacts applies to your deal and click Save. Next is the agent representing the other side. In this case, this would be the agent that is representing either the seller or the landlord. So again, I will fill in their contact information and click Save. For this file, my broker has set the lender as a required contact, which you may or may not see on your end. Since it's showing as required here, I will go ahead and fill it out again and click Save. Now we can see that all of our required contacts are showing a green check mark rather than a red asterisk, which means we've completed everything we need to complete, and we will click the Submit button to move on to the commission page. Here on the commission page, there's a lot of data that can be added, but the only required field is the sale commission percentage or amount. So I'll fill that in and click Submit. And you can see here that the status of our file is going to go from incomplete to pending. And now we're on our checklist, which shows the list of required documents that we need to upload for this file type. That's all it takes to create a transaction file in Skyslope. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to our support team. We're here 24/7 and happy to answer any questions you have. Happy Skysloping.
All right, so let's go back to the training. Okay, so that you could always go back to that training little video by clicking on this hyperlink, okay? But in addition to that, we did put it in the slides so you can go back and reference it on this, which we're going to email to everybody after the training and stuff. But let's go through it one more time. You would click when you go to the dashboard, this is what you're going to see first. You'll click on the manage transactions, and then this is split screen. So this is actually two different screens. So don't get confused. This is not one screen. I just put two screens on one page. but you'll see the manage transactions, and then the second screen will go to, you create a transaction. Good, Anna?
Yes.
Okay. Then you'll go to address lookup, like the video indicated, okay? And then you would click on the bottom address that shows up, and that's powered by Google, okay? And then you would fill out all these required fields. And then Anna wanted to talk on how to calculate the sales price for leases on Skyslope.
So a lot of times what I see when you guys create a Skyslope for the list price, you're giving me the monthly rent amount. No, what you need to do is calculate it. So you take the actual monthly lease times the term. And I gave you an example on this form. So this one was 2,000 per month. It was 12 months. So I times it. And so my sale amount is 24,000.
That's on Skyslope, okay? So make sure you do it accurately, because your commission is going to be based on the sales price on Skyslope.
In addition to that, just remember that Skyslope is your file. So instead of having paper, you're replacing it. So everything that you have in your documents, it's your file. So you could throw anything you want there. You decide what needs to be assigned to the checklist. But this is your file. The more information you put under the contact information, emails for your clients, emails for your title company, your escrow company, all that information stays there. So you only have to go to one place instead of you trying to pick up your phone, trying to find information, or go to your computer, trying to find information through an email, and so on. So the more you put in all these fields, just because there's no asterisk doesn't mean you can't put in your information. In order to do electronic signature, DigiSign on Skyslope, you need to put the email address under the email address contact information. So you could be able to have that too. But again, make life easy for you. Get it all done in one place, so you just have to go to one place. That's it I have.
Okay, and then once you completed all the information, see right now it shows incomplete. You'll have to input. So again, like the video said, you would put the seller information, the tenant or the purchaser, and then here it has title, escrow, and attorney. I know the video went over all of it, but the TC really only needs the escrow information, okay? So if you could just put the escrow information in there, that would help our TC. And then obviously you would move on to the agent representing the other side. We don't need the lender or home warranty information. And then on miscellaneous contact, I'm gonna let Anna chime in on this one because it pertains to her.
Yes, I'm going to start with title. Title is where you're ordering your prelim title report. That's what it means by title. If you have an escrow that is a title, it goes under escrow. So it's the middle area of this screen, okay? You'll have title on top. Again, that has to do with your prelim title report. The middle will be your escrow. And then the last thing is your attorney. If you have an attorney involved in the situation and you want to add their contact information, you're more than welcome to put it on there. Do I need it? I don't need it, because only you guys deal directly with the attorney. Okay. TC is, it's a good thing if you know if there's a TC on the other side, because then you can load this information here. And guess what? If you guys are having any problems getting your documents, I could help you at the end, going and requesting this, saying, hey, I need this document so I could pay my agent. I'm missing these documents. And by me having the TC or having all the information for the other agent, their email, their phone numbers and all that, I could assist you towards the end. It is your responsibility to get all the documents, but I'm here to help you if you're having a difficult time.
Okay, thank you, Anna. Pretty self-explanatory. And then if there's additional sellers, once you fill in the information at the bottom, they're gonna say new seller. If you have 3, 4 sellers, that's where you would click on there and put the new seller's information. Why is this important? Because it's gonna set up email and cell phone numbers for them. So that way you can easily DigiSign. You can send documents for them to sign, or Anna can. And we don't have to chase the agent down to go get email to be able to get something digitized. It's automatically already in there, okay? Same thing goes for the buyer. You fill out the information, and then at the very bottom, let me move this real quick. There's new purchaser. If you have 2, 3, or 4 buyers, you put in their information as well, okay? And then there's the escrow information we just went over. And then there's how to fill it out. And then this is where you would put the TC information if they have a transaction coordinator on the other side, okay? Again, we did this so that way we can give these slides to all the agents so they can have step by step on how to create a transaction on Skyslope, okay? Now, the
Ruben,
rest of
did you wanna stop?
yeah, that's what
And
I was
answer
saying.
questions?
So we're gonna stop here and take questions. Just know that we did not finish our training on Skyslope today. We still have to go over how to upload documents, how to assign documents to the proper location, how to DigiSign. You have the capabilities of sending these forms directly to your clients to sign from Skyslope. You also have it available on zip forms too, but you could do it on Skyslope as well. And then finally, we're gonna show you how to get help on any topic regarding Skyslope. We're gonna do a second session for the remainder of the topics because we ran out of time today. But rest assured, if you go onto Skyslope, there's going to be a search bar, okay? You can type anything you want on that search bar. How do I do this? How do I do this? And more than likely, it'll give you a link to watch a video or give you a step-by-step guide on how to do whatever you're looking to do on Skyslope, okay? So that concludes our training for today on the first portion of Skyslope. We're going to have another one for the remaining topics on Skyslope, and we're going to open it up to the questions that everybody had. And I apologize for not taking questions earlier, but we wanted to make sure that we got through at least half of this training, which we did. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Clint has a question.
Well, Ruben, hi, this is Glenn. I have a question for you regarding to photos. Now, once you've taken a listing, it had the sign, what happened is, you said the photo's gonna be 60-60. But since I'm gonna hire a professional person to do the photo, on the day that I'm taking a listing, I'll just take a front photo. Would that do it, or do I need 6, whatever, I have to take it first?
Coldwell Banker requires 6 pictures. One of the 6 pictures has to be the front.
So when I take the listing,
Yes,
I'll take 6, whatever, maybe
Yes.
lousy pictures, just put them on for the listing and have the professional photographer come back, take it maybe next day or day after, and then replace those.
you could, or you could wait
Yeah.
for it to be done by your professional, whatever works for you. Then if you're gonna wanna replace the pictures, then you're gonna have to email Denise and tell her, I need you to replace the pictures with
But the
these.
question is, I have to put the listing in within 24 hours, right?
Well, there's a workaround there if you guys want to. And let's just say, Clint, let me ask you, so what you're stating is it's gonna take 7 days for the photographer to go out, take the photos and send them,
Yeah,
right?
right,
Is that correct?
correct.
So what you could do, like you said, take some photos for the minimum requirement yourself,
Right.
and then list it as coming soon for 10 days, 7 days. And then you know that you're gonna replace those pictures with the nicer ones when you get them. That way it doesn't go public, but you're in compliance for the MLS.
Okay, that's
You
what
can do
we're
it that
gonna
way.
do. Or else can I do is take the 6 photos, put them on, and then have, maybe 2 days later, the professional person comes in, and then I'll just take the photo and then send to you guys, and you can replace those.
Yeah,
photos.
you could just
Yeah.
send it to me, you're
do that.
requesting it to be replaced with the attached pictures.
Yep, that's just, you're just modifying the listing. That's all you're doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Catherine?
He brought up a topic there when he said he's gonna get an expert to come out and take the pictures. Isn't that where we have to let that expert sign that form
Yes,
saying that we can use those pictures? Because actually those pictures do not belong to us, they belong to the.
correct.
photographer.
It's your PIA form.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure on that.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's important to know, and I didn't know this until I spoke to a car attorney. even though you pay for the services of the photography, they're still owned by the person who took those photos. So you do have to get authorization.
Paxton had a question?
Yes, I'm under the assumption that when we get a listing, the company would provide us with their professional photographer to take the pictures for us.
I don't know where you got that from, Paxton.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the question.
Clinton, I'm sorry, Paxton thought that Coldwell Banker would be the one taking the pictures and give him that. And I told him I don't understand where he got that from, but no, that's never been the case.
Okay, no, so there is,
You know, you might have, certain like escrow companies or other vendors that you work with that will be happy to do pictures for you if you go and take their, you know, give them your business, but
well,
Co-op Banker,
yes, there is a service that we offer right now that, but you have to use certain services. That's how the compensation works and stuff. So if you use an escrow that is in our facility downstairs, Coldwell Banker will pick up the tab for your photos and your marketing of the property.
Can I say something? Okay, is Amoy escrow covered under that?
No, it has to be,
in-house.
In-house.
Oh, in-house escrow.
yeah, downstairs.
Okay.
There's an escrow downstairs. It's called Top Escrow and Show. If you want to utilize her services to help you professionally market your listing, just go see Ancho and she'll guide you through the whole process.
Oh, okay.
It's a very good relationship, and where she'll send out a professional photographer over there. You just have to use her services, okay? Commit to using her escrow.
Okay, see, I didn't know that, but I thought Roy was under there because I use Roy.
No.
Okay.
Sean, are you still on? I know you had a question.
Paxton has another question.
I have a lot of questions.
Okay.
Yes, I have a question.
Oh,
Well,
will
Yes,
it,
Sean.
Sean? You want Sean?
Yes,
to
this
answer?
is Sean.
Okay,
Yeah, because usually I always go in to the zip form through CAR. So I just wondering, is the same if I just do the zip plus, it's gonna be the same account number and the password?
Yes. Oh, no. If you go through CAR, your credentials are your login for your board in your CRMLS. That's the wrong way to do it, okay? I take that back. It's not the wrong way to do it because it's obviously zip forms, you can use it that way. But our preferred method is through zip forms plus broker edition, which Coldwell Banker George Realty pays a large amount of money every year for all the users and stuff. What that does, it helps you with all the documents that are required because there's templates there. So don't go to zip forms through your CAR or your CRMLS, okay? Go directly to zip forms plus broker edition, which the slides will have that link, okay?
So which means I have to create my own another password and the user's name, right?
Yes, and you have that already. It's already established, but if you have not utilized zip forms plus broker edition, just let me know and I could send you a reset so you can reset your password. But your login is always going to be your first name dot last name. So in your case, Sean, it's going to be Sean.Pan, and then obviously your password and stuff. So save that as your favorite on your browser. So that way you just start, training yourself to go to that for your transactions.
Okay, Ruben, I need a reset, okay? Because I don't know, but thanks for the information.
Sean, you're going to be getting an email, not from me, but you're going to get an email from Zip Forms saying to reset your password, okay? It'll be there in about maybe half an hour.
Okay, thank you very much.
Sean, you just click on that link and create your password. You'll see a link and you'll be able to create a
Okay.
password, okay?
Okay.
Sean,
Anna, I have a question. Anna,
Yes,
I have a question. You mentioned that for the sellers, this disclosure, you should do it within 5 days after you put in the listing.
we prefer right away, but we're giving you 5 days.
Is it a requirement?
Yes.
Is it a requirement by the CBGR or is this a requirement for CRMS?
This is a requirement by us.
Okay, I just want to make it clear. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you.
Peter, it's so that we have all the documents ready and available when it goes into escrow, we could send them.
Yeah,
Compliant.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Uh,
thank you.
Paxton, go ahead. What's your question?
I just want to make a comment, with all these requirements, we do need a lot of support from the office staff. Because I hope you don't mind me keep on answering your question.
No, we're here. We're partners, okay? We're partners in this. So you have questions, you come to us, you ask, but we will guide you so you will learn in the future, okay? How to do things correctly to avoid all these problems for yourself. But Ruben and I, we're here to help, and Denise, okay? Anything we could do for you guys.
I really appreciate that, especially for me, because I'm a hard learner. Old dog, hard to learn.
We understand some people, we have to hold their hands more than others. We do understand that.
Yeah,
We will
yeah.
take that into consideration.
Sometimes I'm afraid to take more listing because of this, I
Oh, don't say that.
have a few potential listing coming up. But with all the requirements, wow, it's a big pressure.
I can help you.
You know, I mean.
Yeah, we can all help you.
It's
We
like-
could all help you. What I've seen in the past is some agents work with another agent that's a little bit more expert on it, because maybe they have more transaction more often, so they're used to it. So that could be a solution too, but we're here, we're your team, we're partners here, and we will work together, okay?
Thank you, thank you.
And it's not hard, it's just once you do it once and you utilize what we're trying to train you on, it pretty much does it for yourself. Like for instance, Zip Forms is going to give you all the documents you're required. You have checklists to know, oh, okay, I need this, I need this, I need that. So it's not hard. It's just, you have to really, use the tools that we're giving you, and also attend our trainings, because that's very important. You don't know how many times we have a training.
Away from you.
Huh?
And this, what we worked really hard, Ruben and I, to get this going for you guys. You're gonna have all your answers right in front of you. You're gonna have all your actual links right where you could click. We're trying to make it as easy as possible so you know where to go and be able to help yourself in case we're not available for you. Because I'm not here on the weekends, remember that, okay?
Yeah, we know.
I just feel I'm not necessary pressure for as agent, also for my client. Well, I decide all this paper, that they give me.
But that's not our requirement. That is,
They said,
when you do a transaction, that is what is required, because if we ever get audited, we want to make sure you guys are protected and the broker's protected at the same time. So that's not my requirement. That's what has to be done. That's just part of the transaction.
Paxton, regardless whose services they use, they're gonna have to sign all those documents regardless. So they're selling or buying perhaps the largest investment and purchase that they're in their life. So yeah, they're gonna need to sign a lot of paperwork and stuff. So, but how you can look professional is making sure you have all the documents up front, so you don't have to keep going back. Oh, another document. Oh, another document. That's what really makes you look unprofessional. So if you get everything up in the beginning, then you can go over it with them and have them sign everything and not having to go back and forth, 5-6 times for a missing document here and there and stuff.
And Paxton, working on everything, come sit with Ruben or me. We could review and say, hey, you're missing this. Let's get this going so you can have your full package, okay? That's what we come in to try to help you, okay?
yeah, thank you.
Christina, are you still on? Because I know you had a question too, and I had...
Yes, I have like 3 of them now. Okay, number 1, on the MLS form that we fill out, on the bottom, it says, seller signature, I think on all pages or something. do we need the seller to sign off before we submit the listing to Anna?
Yes, because
Okay,
your seller is authorizing and verifying that all that is accurate. So your seller needs to initial every page and sign the last page.
okay, on number 2, on when we submit the listing paperwork, how much longer do we have before we submit the pictures? Because I've had where one owners, they did all the paperwork and then they didn't want to do the pictures yet. So how long do we have before you guys post it to the MLS?
We can't post them without the
Mm.
pictures.
Yeah, we can post it, yeah.
You have
Okay,
to have
so
pictures.
Pictures.
are
Good.
are we gonna be, will I be in compliance if it's like, maybe, I think it was like 3 weeks before I even got a picture from them.
Well, in
You
that,
can list it.
well,
You cannot list it in the MLS if you don't have.
right. So what we would do is input it, but incomplete, and it won't go live into the MLS.
Yeah,
So
Okay.
if you have a date that varies, we're gonna use the date of when we put the MLS, put it into the MLS.
Yeah,
Not
to avoid a violation, correct.
to avoid a violation. So for instance, if I get a listing 3 weeks ago and I finally get the pictures today, we're gonna put the date of the listing contract today, because otherwise you're gonna get a violation. You're supposed to put it in within I believe 2 days, right, Anna?
Yes.
Okay,
But try not to do that, you know? I mean, we don't live in a perfect world, right?
right.
But we're trying to train and educate the agents on what are the rules to be compliant. So technically, per the CRMLS, if you sign a listing today, by Monday, it has to be in the MLS. Okay?
Okay.
Unless you get a document signed by the seller requesting not to put it on the MLS.
Okay,
You have a third question, or you good?
now I have another one. For using the inside escrow, you were saying that she would go ahead and do the pictures and do the marketing. Now, if she's doing the pictures, does she have to fill out that form?
No, you have to, because you're using the pictures.
That's right.
So what you would do is find out who took the pictures, right? What company or what person, and then that's who you're going to send that form to, so that they authorize you to put those pictures on the MLS.
Okay, so we would have to ask her, who are you gonna send out to take the pictures and then have them fill out that form?
Yeah, it's simple. Just, hey, what's the contact information of the person or company that's taking the photos? They'll do a drone, a video, and photos, and I think some flyers too. And then just send them the document saying, hey, I need authorization to put these images on the MLS.
Okay, now, do we get charged for the pictures, or is this,
If you put a picture on the MLS that is not yours, for instance, you take it off Google, or you use a image from the prior MLS, or you use a image that is someone else's, and MLS they catch you, they're going to charge you $1,500 with no warning.
Yeah.
okay, but my question was, if we have the escrow, the in-house escrow, use her company to take the photos, are we gonna be charged for that?
No, if you use her for her services,
Free.
she's not going to charge you.
Okay, now,
Free.
does that mean we have to use their title too? Or
Just
just
ask-
inside escrow?
Just escrow. I
Okay.
believe
Okay.
Peter, it's just escrow, right?
Okay. Oh, I understand.
Yeah, just escrow, just escrow. Yeah,
Okay,
right. You don't have to use the title, their title, just use the top escrow, which is
Okay.
downstairs of
All
the
right.
office.
all right, thank you.
Yeah, if you have further information regarding that, it's listing concierge services from Top Escrow. Just contact Ann and she'll give you more information and insight on that offering.
Okay, thank you.
And I think there was someone else that had a question, but Shirley, I got your chat. I'm gonna contact you a little later regarding your CB desk. And any other questions for Anna or myself?
Okay, 11:30.
Okay, so that concludes our training. Anna, do you want to go ahead and stop recording?
One question. Is there a website you keep all this video that we can see it over and over?
Yeah, so we're gonna be sending you, when we finish the second portion,
Oh,
we're gonna
okay,
send you this
okay.
whole thing. You're gonna have it on your email and you're just gonna go click, click, click wherever you, and then you can save it as your favorite on the ones you want.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay.
Okay, tell me something, how long will we receive that?
Oh, I'm gonna confirm if next Friday is gonna be our class, Ruben.
No, well, listen, I'm gonna send these slides out to everybody today.
Oh, today.
So you guys can actually get a head start, right? Click on the links, educate yourself, self-educate yourselves, right? Go through the whole presentation. And then we'll have a second session on uploading, assigning, and digisigning stuff. And then we're also gonna have another class on zip forms, okay? We'll go dive into zip forms. But as far as the second session for Skyslope, it's probably not gonna happen until, I'm gonna try to do it on the 18th. Next week is gonna be car forms. And then the following 18th, I have a role play for that date. I'm gonna speak with Peter and maybe we'll push role play out a little bit. That way we can finish up Skyslope. Peter, what?
Yeah, I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, we should finish the Skyslope, and this is very, very valuable education and training, so it's good for the
Okay.
agents.
So what we'll do is next week we're gonna have car forms, and because I won't be here, and then the following Friday, we'll finish up Skyslope, and then we have a training on role playing because we really want to educate agents on when you're screening clients, tenants for like leases, on what to say and what not to say, and it'll help you not get in trouble as far as like your income. What are the other topics? ADA. There's been a lot of issues lately with people getting sued because you're saying the wrong thing or treating a person with discrimination because of pets. So the laws in California are getting very, very strict, and there's a lot of people getting sued. So that role playing is going to be beneficial to you as well. But that being said, we'll finish up Skyslope and I'll push role playing to September.
September. Can you give us the dates in advance, so I know what day I'll come in, because I'm gonna start coming in for the training.
Okay, so you guys all recall the CBGR agent login where we went to the agent resources, right? Then there's another tab there that said training, and that's where you get your videos and past sessions, right?
Okay.
Well, there's another tab there. Let me share my screen.
I'm showing them. Well, at least here.
Oh, there's another tab there that says calendar of events. When you click on that, it'll have the calendar of our training. Now, keep in mind though, that the training gets moved around sometimes depending on, what's happening that week. Sometimes we change things around like we did today, right? So we constantly are updating the calendar, but that's a good general idea of what's going on for the next 2-3 months, okay? So if an agent wants to know and put into their calendar certain dates for lunch and learns, and then special training, commercial trainings, that's where you go, okay? Go to the agent website, and then the last tab says calendar or events. Click on there, and that's where the calendars are, and that's where it has all the training. Good?
Good, very
Thank
good.
you, thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Lot to learn.
All right.
In fact, don't feel.
Be patient with me.
I'm here to help you.
So Annie asked if I missed a class, where can I go to, I'm gonna just do it really quick. So let me share the screen really quick.
So if you miss a class, where to go, he's gonna go over it. That same screen gives you where you could go see all the videos that we've recorded for our classes, okay?
I know what's PIA,
Oh, Pat,
what do you call PIA? Picture PIA form, what's that?
I think he spelled it out on here. Property image agreement. It's spelled out on here, okay, you'll have it. Yes,
You can
All right,
get-
guys.
You can get the form from the card.
yeah,
So you guys see my screen here?
Yeah.
So I have my favorites up here, right? When you click on, let's see, CBGR agent website, you'll get to here, okay? Here's your agent resources, okay? Here's your, this, don't worry about this one. Here's your training, coaching, and licensing, okay? Annie, this is where you would go to get the videos, past videos. It's a YouTube channel, all CBGR YouTube videos. Click there. And there they are,
all the classes.
Okay, thank you.
okay?
Yes, thank you.
Good, thank you, Anna.
Very confused.
And then, just to show you, here's a calendar of events. That's where you would click there.
That's one of the things I don't want to take, listen, something gets confused.
October, September,
That's the
August,
problem. It's
July,
scary. Especially when someone wanna,
okay?
I kind of push it away. Yeah, but I don't want to do this paperwork. It's freaking me out. But another thing, my concern is this, when you go to listen to presentations,
Okay.
you sign a contract with me.
Yeah.
I want
Hey,
to.
Anna, we're gonna conclude the meeting.
Contract, I don't want you.
I'm sorry?
We're gonna conclude the meeting, okay? We'll
Yes,
answer
thank you,
questions.
everybody.
You have to press.
very good. Good job.
Bye.
Okay.
Anna,
See you
press
guys.
leave.
Have a nice weekend.
You too. Press leave, Anna.
Leave.
It's a red button.
End.
End, end.
Okay.
Okay, that's all I can help you with.
Press